Rev up your engines! Now, I've been a mechanic for over 57 years, and I've been using this Midtronics battery tester for a long time. It's like a $900 battery tester when it was new. But times have changed, so I decided to try out this Vistector BT10. This is a $40-something battery tester, but it's like 10 years newer than that, and technology moves on. Let's see if it actually works. Now, they both work exactly the same. You just open the hood and hook it to the battery, okay? You want to make sure it's tight. You put positive on positive and negative on negative. Gives a reading. We're going to go check the battery, so we do enter. In vehicle, we're going to do a battery test. Check surface charge, turn the lights on, so we go to the car. We turn the headlights on. 10 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 10. Close enough. We turn it off. Close the door. But it's a regular flooded battery. It gives you all the choices of the different kinds. Cold cranking amps, 550 cold cranking amps. We go cold cranking amps, 550, enter. Boop. And now it's testing it. And it says good, 449 out of 500. So it says good, but it's recharged because it's been sitting a while. So you can see the state of health is 81% and the state of charge is 50%. So it runs everything okay, but let's try out my old $800-something. This is a very good tester. Let's see if it says the same. Do the same thing. Positive to positive, negative to negative. Pretty much the same reading. We'll do the same thing. We'll turn the headlight on, count to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 10. Turn it off. Cold cranking amps, 550, and enter. As you can see, we'll let it run through because it goes through the test over and over again. Good recharge, gives you the same information. Now, I do have to say, this thing has worked for decades for me. This Midtronics, it's really well made. But it was $800-something. This thing, 40-something bucks. I gotta say, it works. You can check your own battery, and it also checks the charging system. So even if you're not a mechanic, most people don't trust anybody these days, and often rightfully so. You can check your battery, anyone's battery, with the device that's 40-something bucks. And it's accurate. Kind of amazing how technology has moved on. Now realize, all cars are operated by computers. If that battery gets low, you can get squirrely codes. It might not start, it might run poorly. A machine like this is a godsend to you. It can help you figure out any kind of problem, and then instead of being at the beck and call of a mechanic who's got your car and telling you all kinds of things is wrong, you can check your own battery and charging system out. And a lot of times this one's good recharge because it's been sitting for a while. After I took the trip from Rhode Island, we're driving a Lexus instead, so it's sitting and it's cold outside. And the battery is 5 years old. It's a 5-year-old battery too, but it's still good, right? But often it will say battery needs replacing, even though it still starts the car. So if it says battery needs replacing, but it still starts the car, you don't have to say, oh, my car won't start. Oh, I'm gonna go to the nearest auto parts store. They're gonna charge me 200 bucks for a battery. You know you need a battery, but it still starts. You could drive to Walmart and get one for about half the cost, or wherever. Tractor Supply sells batteries. You can go there and get a cheaper price battery that works perfectly fine. You can make a wise decision, do it yourself, not get stranded, and not get ripped off. Again, it's called Vistector, and it's BT10. I got it on Amazon. Hey, gotta say, this one worked. I tried out other ones that were crap and didn't work, but for that price point, this thing's amazing. Now, the next tool I'm checking out is this Maddox radiator pressure test kit. When you get a leak in your cooling system, it's often extremely hard to pinpoint that leak. If you pressure test the system, you can normally find a leak really quickly. Now, I have tried out lots of pressure testers. For this Pittsburgh radiator pressure test kit I got from Harbor Freight, it proved to be a plastic piece of junk. The stuff didn't fit, it broke. It was total garbage. I'm only keeping it to warn people not to buy one. But strangely enough, I bought this Maddox one at Harbor Freight Tools too, and it's phenomenal. Just look at it. Metal, 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 metal. Sure, it costs a little bit more, but it's still not outrageously expensive, and it works phenomenal. When the engine's cold, you just take off the radiator cap, then you put the adapter on, turn it so it's tight, then you hook the adapter up and put it here, but you can see this stupid piece is in the way. So rather than remove it and take it apart, take this adapter off. Off it goes. Then we get this adapter kit that I bought extra because I work on a lot of cars. You just screw this on and turn it till it locks in place. Then we can put the pressure tester on. It just fits on. Gotta unlock it first. I got it locked. Push it down, turn it, and now it's locked in place. Then we can pressure test the system. Now I bought this adapter kit special. It's an add-on to the system because I work on all kinds of cars. But you could just buy the regular one. The caps fit your car, you don't care. Or you could just buy the cap for yours. But this is really handy because it'll fit just about any car out there. Now this is a Toyota. Coolant's full, it's not leaking, so didn't show any pressure leaks. But if it just showed the leaks, the advantage is you would see the gauge going down, and normally you'll see coolant squirting out of where the leak is. Now let's say you're really low and you use this and you see it's losing pressure but you don't see any squirts. Well, then just add water to the cooling system till it's full. Then when you pressure test it, wherever the air's leaking out, now it'll squirt coolant. You can see it coming out a lot easier than hearing a hiss. Just add water until you find the leak. And like I say, this is a steel system. It's pretty well made. Stay away from the plastic crap because it's junk. The steel stuff, not only does it last a long time, but it fits much better. Steel is strong, so when it goes on your radiator, it stays in place. The plastic stuff has a tendency of getting brittle, snapping off, and not fitting right in the first place. And look at this thing. Steel, nice rubber hose, rubber gasket, steel plunger. Solid made. It's worth spending a little bit more for something that works. Now, if you haven't been following me for any length of time or you're brand new to me, I don't get paid to talk about these tools. I just test them out. Nobody's paying me to say whether they're good or not. For example, both of these pressure testers came from Harbor Freight Tools. The Pittsburgh one is junk. The other one is excellent. I just test them out, tell you what's worth buying. Because I'll tell you something, my entire life, I hate getting ripped off buying junk. So I'll test it out and I'll tell you if it's true or not. Of course, in that respect, if you know of a good tool or you got a company that you think really sells a good tool at a good price, hey, just email Scotty Kilmer at gmail.com. I'll tell you how you can send me a tool and I will honestly try it out. Now just make sure that it works, because if it's a crappy tool, it may end up like that Pittsburgh pressure tester where I'll say, this is a pile of crap, don't buy it. But if you got a good one, send it to it. But if you do have a bad one, or maybe you bought a bad one and you're really peed off at the company that sold it to you, send me your bad one and I'll talk about how bad it is when I test it out. Now the last tool I'm going to talk about is this King Bolin ECT 600. It's a relatively new tool they made. It's more than just a circuit tester. It does a whole bunch of stuff. And as you see in my previous video, I tried out an Ansel advanced circuit tester and I failed it because it almost destroyed a car I was working on. It was a pile of crap. Well, this King Bolin ECT 600 is a pretty similar tool except in one respect. It actually works! It's a multimeter, an oscilloscope, an injector tester. You can activate circuits. You can test the battery. We'll do the multimeter. And of course it does a simple voltage test like any other one does. Here, it's showing 12 volts to an oscilloscope. And it does many things. Camshaft you can do, crankshaft, injector signal. If you want to see what the injector looks like, you just touch the negative injector and you'll see the waveform of the injector. It does a CAN polarity test to see if your computer control area network wiring is good or not. You can have preset. You can activate a radiator fan, wiper, window. Check sim voltage if you're working on phones. It also does battery testing. This one's 550. We're going to test it. It says this battery needs replacing. Look how it beeps and warns you. Look. This battery is what? 6 years old. I'll have to warn my daughter-in-law that her truck needs a new battery. And just to see if this thing is accurate, I'm using the tester that I showed earlier in the video. And voila, what does it say? It says, suggest replace battery. So if you want to save a little money, don't bother buying that battery tester. If you want a circuit tester that does all these things, buy this instead. It does what the battery tester does and much, much more. Now it costs a lot more too, but you're getting a bunch of tools with this thing. It's a super long line, so you can hook it up put on the battery and work even in the back of the truck. All these testing roads too, and a decent user manual. Again, if you're curious, it's a King Bolin ECT 600. So now you know some interesting tools that actually work and a couple that are garbage, so definitely don't buy them. So you can fix your car yourself, save a bunch of money, feel good that you know you did it yourself, and not get ripped off by somebody. Let me tell you, if only one thing you do, go ahead and get that battery tester for 40-something bucks. It can save you and your neighbors a small fortune over time. So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.